On the 16th of December every year, the Afrikaner Boer people of Southern Africa celebrate a historic battle, a battle which reshaped the history of the entire African continent. This historic battle not only shaped us as a people, but most of the peoples alive in this country of South Africa today that owe their very existence to the brave men who fought and conquered the mighty Zulu army on that historic day. Tomorrow morning, hundreds of thousands of Afrikaners will gather at over 200 different locations in South Africa to celebrate a covenant day of public thanksgiving to God for national deliverance. For us as a Christian nation, this is a day of prayer, worship and gratitude for the grace of God that has allowed us as a people to continue to survive here in Southern Africa. On this day, we commemorate a historic battle known as the Battle of Blood River, wherein our people triumphed on the battlefield against all odds and thereby liberated the entirety of Southern Africa from the most genocidal regime bent on destroying everyone and everything in their sight that this country had ever seen. Stay tuned, because in today's video, I'm going to tell the story of a battle that took place almost 200 years ago, which changed the course of history for everyone living in this country. For almost 2 centuries after arriving in the Cape Colony, European peoples lived in and around the area that is today still known as the Western Cape. It would indeed be more than a full century after their arrival that the Europeans at the Cape encountered a black African settlement for the first time near the Fish River in what is today known as the Eastern Cape, close to East London. The Cape Colony was historically governed by a private company, the Dutch East India Company, for the first 143 years of its existence, before it fell into the hands of the British in 1795, who feared that the Cape might fall into French hands after Napoleon invaded and conquered the Netherlands. After returning it to the Netherlands in 1803, they once again reconquered the Cape Colony as part of the Napoleonic Wars following the Battle of Blouberg in 1806. The Vryburgers in the Cape Colony, as the ancestors of the Afrikaner and Boer people, were known at the time that they were not content with British rule, who they argued were unable and unwilling to manage the influx of Xhosas into the Cape Colony from the east. Furthermore, higher taxes, the change of the Cape Colony's official language to English, and the subordination even of the church to a liberal foreign government made the situation unbearable for these Vryburgers. This eventually led to the Great Migration away from the Cape and into the inland, which became known as the Great Trek of the 1830s. Around 12,000 Vryburgers, about 20% of the Caucasian population of the Cape Colony at the time, participated in this Great Trek, which took place from the Cape Colony into the interior to what later would become known as Natal, the Orange Free State and the Transvaal Republics. One of the main reasons why the Voortrekkers were able to move north and occupy vast areas that were at the time completely uninhabited was the Zulu extermination campaigns which took place at the same time. In this mass genocide under the Zulu kings of Shaka and Dingaan, which is today known as the Difekane, it is estimated that approximately 2 million black people from other tribes were slaughtered and genocided. Yet the Boers now also had to deal with this very same Zulu leader Dingaan in an attempt to settle relations and borders. A memorandum of agreement was drawn up between the Voortrekker leader Piet Retief and the Zulu leader Dingaan to seal this agreement. However, Dingaan invited Retief for a celebration in what was essentially the capital of the Zulu kingdom at the time, but demanded that Retief and his men come unarmed as a sign of goodwill. Retief obliged, and during the festivities arranged by the Zulus, at Dingaan's command, Retief and his men were violently slaughtered. Retief, along with 71 others, were murdered that day in 1838. This was about one example of how the Zulus attempted to wipe out the Boer people from the face of the earth. Just a few weeks after this, 200 more of the Voortrekkers were slaughtered near what would later become the town of Wenen when they were ambushed by Zulus. The Zulus had already completely wiped out several black tribes in the area during the Defikani, including the Ngwane, the Ndwandwe, and the Puting. Now, they wanted to wipe out the white man in this area too. But, by the grace of God, on the 16th of December 1838, they were finally stopped in a battle that would change the course of Southern African history forever. On this day, a small force of 438 Voortrekker Boers defeated the onslaught by a Zulu army numbering nearly 20,000 in a battle on the banks of the Nkome River, which would later be known as Blood River. Not a single Voortrekker died in this battle, while over 3,000 Zulu warriors were killed. Prior to the battle, the Boers had made a vow to God in which our ancestors covenanted themselves to God as a people, noting that we shall keep this day and date every year as a day of thanksgiving, and we will also tell our children that they should share in that with us in the memory for future generations. For honor of his name will be glorified by giving him the fame and the honor of our victory. Ever since that victory, our people have always and still today celebrate this day on the 16th of December as a day of thanksgiving in remembrance of the grace that the triune God that we worship showed to our people on that historic day. Had the Zulus not been stopped at Blood River on the 16th of December 1838, their genocidal campaign would have expanded all over Southern Africa, resulting in utter devastation and leaving millions more dead. Apart from the Zulu, all of the black tribes in South Africa today owe their existence to these few Boer fighters, who stopped the Zulu when no one else was able to. It also led to the Christianization of the Zulu people in particular, as the Boers now shared the gospel of Jesus Christ to the people who previously had known only the rule of bloodthirsty tyrants. The Boers now introduced to them a new king, the king who had been born in Bethlehem, who was crucified on Golgotha, but most importantly, on the third day, rose from the dead and conquered death and the world forever, making him king of our earth. Relations between the various peoples and tribes in Southern Africa gradually stabilized, and the relationship between the Zulu and the Afrikaner Boer people was one of the most mutual respect and adoration in the years to come. The Boer general Louis Botha was later also a very good friend of the king Dinuzulu ka Cetshwayo, and both of them were practicing Christians. Blood River not only saved the nations of Southern Africa from extermination and introduced Christianity in the region on a scale that had never been done before. Because of the victory at Blood River, on the 16th of December, civilization has been brought to this part of the world, which has led to an immense rise in living standards for all peoples living here. Blood River, therefore, did not only halt a wave of mass destruction and genocide, it reshaped the spiritual, political, and civilizational trajectory of South Africa forever. The stability that followed laid the foundations for the development of modern institutions, infrastructure, and rising living standards that over time benefited all the peoples of this part of the world. Yet, when the ANC took power in 1994, the mainstream newspapers in this country openly predicted that the Afrikaner celebration of the Day of the Well would become a thing of the past. But over the past few years, with the immense rise of Afrikaner nationalism, more people are actually attending these celebrations than ever before in our history. And I myself will also be a speaker at one of these celebrations tomorrow. In a recent video, we highlighted the ways in which nationalist ethnopolitics shape South Africa's political landscape today. Check out this analysis by simply clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And remember to become a paid member of the Willem Petzer Group. Only with your help I'll be able to make these videos to change the hearts and minds of people. Just follow the easy steps on the banner underneath me. Goodbye, God bless, and Merry Christmas to all of you.